The fear that came into your heart, my dear brother, when the wind started to move the curtains of your door, when you were committing your sin, fearing that someone has caught you, that fear is greater and worse in the eyes of Allah than the sin itself. That fear should have been for Allah. Beware of being an ally, a friend of Allah in public, but an enemy of Allah in private. This is a contradiction in the personality of a Muslim, and this is unacceptable. And whilst people may not discover this contradiction today in you, it will be discovered on the day of judgment if it is not fixed today. The Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, لَأَعْلَمَنَّ أَقْوَامًا مِّنْ أُمَّتِي يَأْتُونَ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ بِحَسَنَاتٍ أَمْثَالِ جِبَالِ تِهَامَةَ بِيضَاءَ. I know people from my nation, he said, who will come on the day of judgment with mountains of good deeds. Allahu Akbar. And Allah will deck them one after the other. He will make them into rubble, nothing, worthless, scattered dust. So the narrator Thawban, he said, Ya Rasulullah, صِفْهُمْ لَنَا جَلِّهِمْ لَنَا أَنْ لَا نَكُونَ مِنْهُمْ وَنَحْنُ لَا نَعْلَمْ. Messenger of Allah, describe them to us. Give us their characteristics, just in case we are the people amassing all of these good deeds, and there will be nothing on the day of judgment. What do they look like? He said, أَمَا إِنَّهُمْ مِنْ إِخْوَانِكُمْ. They are your brothers. وَمِنْ جِلْدَتِكُمْ. They're from your race. وَيَأْخُذُونَ مِنَ اللَّيْلِ كَمَا تَأْخُذُونَ. And they even pray at night the same way you pray. What went wrong? He said, وَلَكِنَّهُمْ قَوْمٌ إِذَا خَلَوْا بِمَحَارِمِ اللَّهِ انْتَهَكُوهَا. He said the problem is that they were a people who, when they were alone, they would step over the limits of Allah Jalla Jalal. What do we do from here? This is a musibah. Some of you will say, my hair is standing on end. What do I do to uphold this amana of access to sin? What do I do? I will suggest three things in a minute or two. And the first, a wholesome retreat to the book of Allah, to recite the Quran with tadabbur, with contemplation. And that is why Ibn Taymiyyah, he would say, فَإِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ إِذَا قَرَأَ الْقُرْآنَ وَتَدَبَّرَهُ كَانَ ذَلِكَ مِنْ أَقْوَى الْأَسْبَابِ الْمَانِعَةِ لَهُ مِنَ الْمَعَاصِي أَوْ مِنْ بَعْضِهَا. He said, a person who recites the Quran with thought, with contemplation, this becomes one of the strongest barriers between him and sins, or at least some of them. Find a way to access the Quran, to recite it with contemplation. That's number one. Number two, very quickly, ensure that you worship Allah privately where no one can see you. Give yourself a portion of private one-to-one ibadah, even if it is a minute a day. And that's why Ibn al-Qayyim, he said, the sins that people do when they are alone is the main reason why people go astray later on in life. And he said, similarly, the good deeds that you do when you are alone will be a main reason why you will stay steadfast upon the religion. Lastly, and my final message, dear brother, dear sister, who is afraid of the trust of access, I say to you, message number three, connect yourself to something that is bigger than you. Work towards an Islamic vision project that is bigger than your mirror reflection, your career ambitions, your wage, and your health and fitness. Connect yourself to a large Islamic goal and work towards it. And watch how automatically most of these whisperings will be evicted from your life. In my short experience, I have seen that in the most of the cases I've come across, brothers and sisters who are constantly dipping in and out of haram, observing that which is haram, communicating, moving in and out of relationships, exploring different drugs, using different applications, whatever they may be doing strange things to their body, most of the times it's because they are bored. There is an emptiness in here. So they need to find something to fill that emptiness. Whereas the people of high aspirations like you, who are digging wells, who are starting charities, who are learning knowledge, who are perfecting their recitation, they are doing something that is bigger than their dunya. They are far too busy to be slowed down by these fetishes and these whisperings. The glow of their objective that they follow is so bright that it has eclipsed every other satanic whispering. They make mistakes and they slip, but when they do, they stand up again. They say astaghfirullah, and they have a north star that they are following. They know the path that they need to be on.